Hi, I'm Brent. I'm just a local public health nurse, and I often receive emails and phone calls regarding public health issues. My job is to help people understand certain community issues we may have and help them understand more about vaccines. And so I'm available to inform the general public about good information they need to know and make sure they have the resources they need. I'm just going through my emails this morning, and I received an email from Save the Children 101. Subject is vaccines. So she had some questions regarding vaccines, and so I decided to reply back in a video, as it would be easier to relay my message. First question states is, I heard that vaccines cause autism, or are linked to autism, should I say. I don't think they are necessary anymore, as the diseases we're being vaccinated for aren't even around. As well, our vaccines are full of toxins, and I don't think they're safe for our children. I don't think it's necessary for vaccinations, and why I keep getting pushed to be vaccinated. Perhaps you can help me ease my concerns. Second question is, if they are so important, why are they so expensive? I can't afford to vaccinate all my children. So, answer question, starting with the autism. My understanding is, through research I've done, that there was a specific paper that was linked to vaccinations and autism back in the 1990s, but fortunately that paper has been completely debunked, and as a matter of fact, most of the authors had taken their name off that paper. In addition, several research has been done. I believe there's more than enough published papers that have proven, or peer-reviewed papers that have proven, that there is no link or correlation between autism and vaccinations. In addition, this is from my personal thoughts, not to be offensive, but I look at a disease like polio that perhaps back in the day used to affect 20,000, 30,000 babies a year, and polio often has detrimental effects, such as leaving children paralyzed in various places, whether it be legs, whether it be arms, whether it be lungs, whether they're stuck on ventilators. Regardless of where, the effects of polio are detrimental. And if you were to ask me if I would rather prevent a disease like polio or have the very small risk of my child having autism, I think I much rather have an autistic child, which in my opinion are still very capable children. That's just my personal thoughts. You said you had some concerns about the toxins and harmful substances that were used in vaccines. Vaccines are monitored very closely and regulated, and so the doses, even if there are harmful substances, usually the doses that are approved to be in these vaccines are negligible. They've had to done several research that is perhaps like a substance like aluminum that may be found in vaccines. We know for a fact the amount of dose in a vaccine is so little that it could have no effect on our body. And the fact is that most of these harmful substances that are in vaccines, we probably get more dose from our drinking water and our regular food. So that shouldn't be a concern, as what goes into the vaccines are very heavily regulated, and there is no intention to harm children as we vaccinate. You also mentioned that you thought it wasn't necessary to be vaccinated anymore because most diseases have been eradicated or are very, there's a very small number. The fact is that vaccines have been very successful, and as a result, the majority of us now have never actually even been exposed to these diseases, and we don't know how harmful they actually are. But we need to continue to be vaccinated so we can keep it that way. If we stop vaccinating our children, or if there's a high percentage, some of these diseases will make a comeback. We have to think in situations like if we travel, or perhaps vaccinations are as accessible. If someone picks up measles or mumps in a foreign country and brings it back, there's a possibility that it will spread like wildfire through anyone who's not vaccinated. Because the majority of people have been vaccinated, we have what is called herd immunity, where the majority of the population is immune and it protects those who aren't. You got to keep in mind that people who are elderly or young, or people who are immunocompromised, usually are not vaccinated because their immune systems aren't developed or strong enough. And in order to protect them, the rest of us need to be vaccinated in order to make sure that these diseases never come back. Last, to address your issue with cost, I understand that is frustrating, and healthcare costs are always a concern, and I'm with you that they should be available and affordable. But lucky, there are programs such as the Vaccines for Children program that provides, that helps people qualify for free vaccinations, or those who don't have insurance or just need help with costs. It's also important to check in with your local health center, public health center, where they can provide you assistance or perhaps subsidized costs depending on your income, because they do know how important it is to be vaccinated, and how far go with helping public health overall. I hope this has addressed your concerns and questions, but please email me back with any other questions that you may have.